Давай.
Okay, now we are ready to move to the Bibim Bap. After we prepare the Bibim Bap sauce, we're gonna need beef, spinach, carrots, radish, bean sprouts, young pumpkin, shiitake mushroom, oyster mushroom, king oyster mushroom, egg, chopped green onion, chopped garlic, sesame oil, and salt. So let's cut it and prepare for the cooking. Okay, let's first of all slice our meat. We need to cut it into the thin slices. Okay, now let's season our meat. We need a little bit of salt. Make sure that you don't make it too salty. A little bit of pepper. And a half teaspoon of jinganjang. And mix it up. Okay, now we're gonna blanch our spinach a little bit in the water for about 30 seconds. So let's get water first of all to the boiling point. Once it gets to the boiling point, you just drop over the your spinach and blanch it for about 30 seconds. After you blanch it for about 30 seconds, get it into the cold water and just rinse it a little bit to make it cold. It's time to blanch bean sprouts. Once we got the water boiling, add a little bit of the salt in it. And blanch bean sprouts for about 3 minutes until it loses its smell. Okay, once the bean sprouts lost their odor completely, then just put them back to the plate and move on to carrots. Now let's cut into the thin slices our carrot. Okay, our carrot is ready. So now let's blanch it a little bit in the water. We don't need to boil it for a really long period of time, just for a little bit. And then we're gonna put that into the cold water to cool it down. Okay, now we're gonna pour our carrots and to cool it down a little bit. Okay, now let's move on to our radish. Let's cut it into the slices of the around 0.3 millimeters. And then we're gonna slice it same way as we did to the carrot. Okay, now we got our radish ready. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of salt to the radish and mix it up for a little bit. Okay, now let's cut our pumpkin into the thin slices, and then also we're gonna add a little bit of salted. And mix it up. Okay, now we're gonna cut the shiitake mushrooms. In the original recipe, it's supposed to be used the shiitake mushrooms, but also in America, a lot of people using just regular mushrooms. So let's cut it on the nice pieces, and then we're gonna need to cut our oyster mushrooms and then put them in our pan just for a little bit. Okay, once shiitake mushrooms are ready, let's move on to oyster mushrooms. And for them, we just need to cut them into the thin slices. So something like that. Okay, now it's ready. Okay, that's what we got. Okay, and now let's slice it in the small cuts. Okay, this is what we got final project for, final for the mushrooms, for the shiitake king mushrooms. Okay, now let's start with the spinach. We're gonna need to season it a little bit, so let's cut it in a couple of the pieces like that. Throw it back to our plate, to our bowl. Let's add a little bit of garlic in it. And a little bit of salt. Okay, we added a little bit of garlic in it. Now a little bit of salt and just a little bit of the sesame oil. And let's mix it up. Okay, now we're gonna put it aside. Okay, now we're doing the same thing with our carrot. We're adding a little bit of onion on it. Now a little bit of garlic. Just add a little bit more. Some salt. And also a little bit of the sesame oil. and let's mix it up. Okay, now we're doing the same thing with the bean sprouts. We are adding a little bit of garlic in it, a little bit of onion, salt, and just a little bit of the sesame oil. And let's mix it up. Okay, now we also do put it aside as we did with the spinach and carrots. Okay, now with the radish, let's add a little bit of the chili powder in it. Just a little bit more. Then we're gonna add garlic, and let's season it a little bit. Okay, and that's what we got.